Increase in taxes affects every sector of our lives. We have a worker here, we have a spare parts dealer here, and we have an importer here. We're going to be talking about exactly how it affects what you buy, your salary, and how you fix your car. I think that covers it, right? Francis Anum is from Abosi Okai. Samson Awingobet Asaki is from the Importers and Exporters Association. And Solomon Kote is with the Industrial Workers Union. Industrial and Commercial Workers Union. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us. Raymond Aqua is the usual suspect here on the Super Morning Show. We call him Dr. Google. You'll find out soon enough. But it's 18 minutes to the top of the hour. Here's a wrap of what we know so far about the increments in taxes.
The April 2018 IMF staff report had proposed what they call a holistic review of the country's tax system, reassessing key rates like the VAT, corporate income tax, excise and personal income tax after a series of meetings with the members of the economic management team. The controversy in the lead-up to the mid-year budget review on Thursday has centered around a potential increase in the VAT rate. But the IMF document revealed that government had at least also discussed a possible increase in personal income tax with the IMF under the extended credit facility. In fact, the IMF acknowledges government's willingness to comply, noting in the report that government's plans on the proposed holistic tax review are, quote, encouraging. So the government agreed to impose these new taxes as proposed by the IMF. Kojo Kumar is Deputy Information Minister.
This is not the first time that the IMF has come out saying, we think you should do X. And we have pushed back. And I can give you history.
But it says that your plans on this area are
encouraging. But you cannot interpret that to mean that we have committed that we're going to increase VAT.
No. Did you disagree with them when they said you should reassess key rates like VAT?
We have been committed to raising more revenue.
I'm asking a direct question. Did you disagree when they asked you to reassess key rates like VAT, corporate income, and excess and personal income tax?
We showed the IMF our plans for ensuring that we meet our revenue targets, and they were pleased with it.
The NDC minority has served notice they will resist any tax increases. Albert Adongo is minority member on Parliament's Finance Committee.
They have a mandate and they have some policy choices that they have to make. And so invariably, you can only advise them. And where I come from, we have a proverb. They say when a donkey is about to floor you, the ears begin to show. But for a man who will be floored by the donkey, even if the ears are up, they won't see it. Yeah. And so currently, they are not seeing the donkey's ears up. But by 2020, when they fall, Kojo, when you come to my office, I'll tell you, I told you so.
And that was Ernest Menu's reports on the role of the IMF or otherwise in these proposed increased taxes that we have. Of course, the official word is not out yet. That can only come on Thursday. But we've gotten a strong indication from governments that this is what will happen when Finance Minister goes to Parliament. Raymond, this is not the first time the Finance Minister has mentioned taxes in Parliament. Last year, when he read the budget, I called him Abolisher General. I wrote that on my Facebook page.
Yes, we know that. I mean, let's take back to 2016. We do know that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, when he met the AGI, for example, asked the AGI to help him save them from the previous government, John Dramani Mahama's killer taxes. Yep. And the expression killer taxes really emanates from the AGI because they, in their barometer consistently, it's either it was the first, second, or the third most important issue that was affecting and killing businesses. That's why it became a killer tax talk. And that's in the run-up to the 2016 election. So he specifically promised that he will eliminate some of these taxes so that they will be able to function properly. And the question they asked him, where is he going to get the money from if he's going to eliminate some of these taxes? He said, one, the MPP's manifesto is making room for broadening the tax base as a result of formalization of the economy. Then increase in tax compliance. That was the second one. Reduce government expenditure as a result of increased collaboration with the private sector and prioritization of government expenditure. The other issues he raised were the alternatives was that savings from the reduction of interest rates paid on the country's debt stock, and also increase in oil and gas revenues from TEN and Sankofa fields. He also mentioned that the elimination of corruption, especially in the procurement of goods and services, which is estimated to cost about 1.5% of our GDP annually, was also going to be done. And finally, they will plug the leakages in the administration of public finances. The Auditor General's report has indicated that some 5.9 billion, then that's what the president made reference to. So these are the areas that the president said we're going to use to deal with the problem. Now, they lived up to the expectation when it comes to the removal of some of these taxes. Let me quickly run through the 15 that was immediately removed with that particular budgetary declaration. First and foremost, they abolished the 1% special import levy, 17.5% VAT, National Health Insurance on financial services. You remember the one that became controversial in 2015.
Yeah.
Now, 17.5% VAT and National Health Insurance on selected imported medicines that are not produced locally. Initiate steps to remove import duties on raw materials and machinery for production within the context of the common external tariff regime that we have agreed on, and 17.5% VAT and NHIL on domestic airline tickets, 5% VAT and NHIL on real estate sales, and excise duty on petroleum. So all the 15 I mentioned are the ones that they said they actually removed in the 2017 budget. The special petroleum tax rate from 17%, there's a reduction though, to 15%, special petroleum tax. Duty on the importation of spare parts. And of course, I mean, this became an issue later on in the course of the year. Levies imposed on KIA by local authorities. Taxation. The gains from realization of securities listed on the Ghana Stock Exchanges and also publicly held securities approved by the SEC.
Okay.
The ones that were supposed to be reviewed were the reduction in the National Electrification Scheme from 5% to 3%. I hope you get that. Yeah. Now, reducing also the public lighting levy from 5% to 2%.
Yeah. And
also replace the 17.5% VAT National Health Insurance levy rate with a flat 3% rate scheme for traders. And finally, they would implement tax credits and other incentives for businesses that hire young graduates. And that was the scope of the reduction, the abolition, and also the reviews that they promised in the 2017 budget.
Those are about 15.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me begin with you, Francis, or Francois, if I can call you that. Yeah. Imports duty on spare parts was removed. We saw so much jubilation from Abosio Okai at the time. A year down the line, have you felt the removal of this tax and other nuisance taxes that were removed?
Yeah, let me start by saying that those taxes that were removed at the initial stages, we felt it that our business is going to grow with it. But as time went on, you ask yourself, how much was the dollar then and how much is the dollar now? So whatever that the government gave back to the business community by way of abolishing taxes and all those things is not felt. And one thing is that the businessman is always at disadvantage when it comes to the increment in prices. I can tell you for a fact that at my shop, I have a spare part which I started selling at 70 Ghana cedis in 2015. And as at now, I'm still selling it by same price. Because you have a lot of people in Abosio Okai dealing in the same product and the same goods that you're also dealing in. So when you increase your price, another person, at a point in time, I was making almost like 20 cedis on each. Do you know how much I'm making now? 5 cedis, 30 pesos on each. Meaning, I'm losing my profit. Losing my profit to the dollar exchange rate. So initially, yes, it was okay. Even with the introduction of paperless at the port, now things are not going right. Because you go and the bureaucracies are still there. Because I thought that with the introduction of the paperless program, there are going to be an inspection at one stage, and then when everything is setting, you take your goods and you go your way. But here is the case: somebody will come, national security, the same old system. People are still using that same system at the port. Let me tell you.
So when you say the same old system, let me just ask that. When you say the same old system, does that mean that Do you believe there's a lot more corruption? There's still a lot of corruption in there?
Yeah, there's a lot of corruption going on. When you look at how people have been transacting business, and when even government brought this system, there were people in the offices who were even trying to sabotage because they were not getting enough money into their pockets. That is what I can see. And then from there, it was like some people are for it, some people might not be for it. And I don't know why we still don't have that one go system where your goods are inspected. And you know, when my agent takes money from me that I'm going to see one person, I'm going to see this, I'm going to do that, definitely the trader will add it onto the product, unless you want to sacrifice your profit, as I've been telling you. And if you go to Abosokan,
okay,
there is this Matisse engine. It's been sold 900 Ghana cedis for 3 years now. If you go today at Abosokan, you get it at a price. There are certain vehicles that the parts are sometimes scarce to come by.
Okay.
You look at something like Toyota, and there are certain type of cars like Sprinter. You see, there are a lot of them in the commercial business.
Okay.
So sometimes it becomes scarce getting some spare parts, and automatically the prices increase when you don't have them in the market, like more demand chasing this in supply. So you see that those prices will go up, but that is not the normal system that we have. So I think that in trying to increase prices, but let me add that yesterday I made the electric checks after your producer called me trying to find out from certain quarters in government, and the assurance was that there will not be increase in VAT.
In VAT.
So it was per year. Let me say it's not official, but they said not VAT. But you know, my problem with Ghanaians and the general.
Be wrapping up for me, so I can take initial.
My problem is that, just as your brother was saying, I think we need to expand the tax net, because there are a lot of areas that I think that we can make money from that we are not looking at. The source that we have now, it seems like we want to hit that area where you can get it directly, and I think it's not helping.
Samson, we have seen a lot of measures by government to try and broaden this tax net, but we have also seen that it's not something that can happen in a year or two. It's more of a medium to long-term measure. Are we stuck between a rock and a hard place now?
Thank you very much. I must say a very big good morning to your cherished listeners nationwide and beyond the country. And of course, good morning to my senior brothers in the studio, Solomon Kote, and then my good Francois from Spare Parts Dealers Association in Guta, of course. I have 3 campaigns that I've launched for this month. I say one is the mortgages. I'm sure you've been hearing the mortgage that importers are paying. If I tell you figures that importers are paying for the mortgage for 20-footer container a day and then 40-footer container a day, you marvel. 40-footer container a day, an importer is paying about 561.64 Ghana cedis for just 40-footer container if you are running to the mortgage per day. And the 20-footer container, importers are paying 280.52 pesos a day. And so you can imagine how the mortgage is killing importers, and I'm sure he would testify to that. Again, I live in Ashama. I'm an Ashama boy. I grew in Ashama, and I live in Pukatamashu jurisdiction. It's between, you can call it Ashama or Pukatamashu. Our road is very, very bad. And the last time I was on other platform, I said, when you go to Tema, you see all the community. You drive on asphalt road. You get to Ashama, it's so, it seems human beings are not living there. Nobody thinks about us. You go to where I live at Pukatamashu road, on the Community 2 road, linking to the BBC road. It's so terrible. So, in fact, district chief executives and municipal chief executives are all there, both Ashama and Kukatamas. They are my friends. Please, they should sit up, or else I will lead the crusade for them to demonstrate about the roads in Ashama. That is my complaint. Then the third one to Bank of Ghana is about the black market. Black market is killing. They are now determining the interbank rate for us. Black market. And my blame is not to the Alhajis, but my blame is to Bank of Ghana, not sanctioning commercial banks who they serve them, because of course you know that every week Bank of Ghana give forests to commercial banks to give to importers to go and do international traders. Then you put in my friend will put in his money in his bank, and 2 hours, 3 hours later, his banker will call and say, "Can you go to Alagi because we don't have the forest for you?" Where did the Alagi get the money from? Did he bring it from Togo? Did he bring it from Ivory Coast? Did he bring it from Burkina Faso? It's from the same bank that.
So you feel you are forced to go there, but if you go there, you are breaking the law.
If you are what?
If you go to the black market, you are breaking the law.
Of course, and that's why I want commercial banks to be sanctioned. That the Bank of Ghana give them forest to trade for people who come there to do business.
Okay.
So this is that's hashtag.
Yes.
All this nonsense must stop. Now let me get back to
the
your main
points that
question.
we are making. Yes.
Your main question is that Raymond read a lot of things here.
Yeah.
Then the two of us sitting here ask ourselves, including you yourself, that was it properly implemented of what he read? I can tell you no. Look, you give importers 1% special levy, abolish. Sometime it was February or March that they read the budget. 2016.
Yeah.
2017. Great. And sometime July that same year, you reverse the 17.5% on VAT to 3%, and you rope in importer. So when he import to Ghana, he pay a duty plus a 17.5% as his input. When he's going to sell it to someone sitting under Wosekai, he invoices the person as 17.5%, take his input that he paid to the government already at the upfront.
Yeah, and
then the 2.5 to 3% he gives to government. Now government is saying no. After abolishing 3%, 1%, you brought in 3% and say when you are an importer, a wholesaler or distributor, you are part of it. So you took the person 17.5% at the port, you get to the market and say no, do 3% and bring it to me. So he is killing them. So robbing Peter and paying Paul. So there was nothing like. So even it was best if they had left the 1% there and don't bring the 3%, because the 3% was meant for only retail sector who cannot have the capacity to employ professional accountants to be able to know what is input and what is output. Because he's having a small kiosk, he's having a small shop. But someone like this man, if you go to Moscow, he has a bigger. So he imports. He doesn't just buy and trade. He imports. So he understands his input, how much he paid, and he understands his output, how much. So government is eating into his profit. So how can you tell me that 1% was given, so we should clap hands? In fact, I was one of the person, just like you said, that you wrote something on your Facebook page on that day. I said that was a junto budget. I described it as a junto. I think you said Enidaso or something like that. Asempa. And I said it was a junto budget. Just 5 down, 6 down the months down the lane. Then these people came back and said they are robbed. And I said no, we agreed that 3% should reverse back to traders, to retail sellers. And in fact, even at that time, that 3% was for optional. So if this man capital had grew from maybe 10,000 to 100,000, he can opt, he can move. So there was a threshold. There wasn't compulsory like this. So they actually brought that 1% or that 3% to get confused. And I'm telling you, it's West narrow, and I'm sure Gutta will speak to that. The spec pass abolition that you talk about, it is not true, because they came and announced to the parliament that this was it. We are going to abolish our friends from Abusokai. And when it came to implement it, they now look for Abusokai people to come and tell the government what will be the term as spare parts and what will be the term as spare parts. So you go to Abusokai today to buy a camera, they tell you it's not the spare parts. So you want to buy a car tie, they say it is not the spare parts. So once it becomes a spare parts.
So it was not effective. The implementation of these
it was announced all right, but on the implementation it's a different ball game altogether.
Okay.
Quite apart from that, we are talking about the 1% special financial service tax that was introduced during President Mahmoud era.
You mean a 17.5%?
No, 17.5% on the financial service.
Yes.
If they had left it safe, but you describe these things as nuisance taxes. Then you came back, then you are introducing things that are killer to the trading public. And what I hate is that all the time government want to introduce, not only this government, but successive government, and even when this government was in opposition, they were talking about for the businessman. I'm sure if my friends Solomon Kote and his people gang up and push, at the end of the day, they will say they are going to Harbour. That is where they always go, importers. That's where they make the money from. But we, for now, when the 3% came and we in Gutta had our skirmishes, I told Gutta on that, look, there's danger ahead of us. If you don't come together to do a professional, but we want to applaud government, tomorrow we'll put our hands into our heads and start crying. Today, that's what is happening. Gutta is pushing harder. No.
Samson, hold on a minute for me. We need to take a Joy Business Minutes now. Right. When we come back, you'll wrap up your points and then we move to Mr. Kote.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. It's Karen and Darrell.
Welcome to the Joy Business Minute, making news this morning.
Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta would, by close of today, know whether or not he can go ahead with the proposed tax measures outlined in the mid-year review. This would happen after an emergency cabinet meeting.
Meanwhile, Gutta says any move to introduce new taxes would badly affect the fortunes of its members. President of Gutta says widening the tax net should be the focus of government.
Also, June fiscal data shows that government is yet to reach its revenue target for the 6 months of this year. Data seen by Joy Business shows that the state realized a little over 17 billion cedis as against a target of around 18 billion cedis.
And investment firms Starmount, Belstar Capital and 2 others would from today cease to hold controlling stake in ADB. The Bank of Ghana has cancelled the shares acquired by these firms in the bank during its initial public offering.
Interesting times, Darrell.
Yes, Karen, we'll bring you more at 3:06.
At Afrodan, we believe that many of the problems people have with their health is as a result of the way they sit. In other words, your chair can kill you. Here's Dr. Marcus Mann of the Chiropractic and Wellness Center.
What you have to remember is that the spine is the lifeline to your body, and posture is the window to that spine. Now, posture is affected by your daily activities and habits like sitting. That's why at the Chiropractic and Wellness Centers, we recommend what I believe to be the best chairs available for preventing not only subluxations, but also other health problems that you may not be aware of. And that's Rabami and Mobilex chairs. Unfortunately, on a daily basis, I have to correct the effects of this poor sitting habit in our businessmen and businesswomen. Always remember, optimal spine equals optimum health.
So, for the sake of your health, buy Rabami or Mobilex chairs from Afrodan. We are on the first floor of the Swansea Shopping Arcade. Telephone 663-085.
Hey, Kwame, what's up here?
My brother,
my wife has been diagnosed with cancer.
What?
My brother is here with kidney disease too.
Oh, yeah. Do you know the World Health Organization estimates that over 16,000 new cases of cancers are diagnosed annually in Ghana, and kidney diseases account for 10% of all medical admissions to Korle Bu?
But thanks to Glyco-Critical Illness Plan, GSIP, I have spent over 20,000 Ghana cedis on my younger brother's disease. Yeah. What is GSIP?
Glyco-Critical Illness Plan, GSIP, provides you with financial support when diagnosed with any critical illness or dread disease such as cancers, strokes, kidney failures. Speak to GlycoLife today on 0302-218-500 for your GSIP policy. It is definitely in our interest to survive. GlycoLife, we cushion you for life.
It's time to experience something different, unexpected, and definitely beyond banking. It's a new era at GCB Bank, Ghana's most welcoming bank, where we offer you a world of financial security, flexibility, and convenience. We swiftly serve you with over 180 branches and 300 ATMs, and provide e-banking solutions that make it possible for you to bank anywhere, anytime. When you need a personal loan, sooner is better than later, so we give it to you in 24 hours to make sure the experience is always memorable. At GCB, your opportunities are limitless, and we keep you smiling at all times. We're bigger and better, ready to take you beyond banking. GCB Bank, your bank for life.
What's a holiday in South Africa like?
Best thing ever. I've just faced my fears, man.
This is the adrenalina time, you know? Bye-bye!
I had so much fun, man. Like, this town is the most beautiful town I've ever been to.
But definitely something you have to try, right?
Something I have to try, something I have to bring my friends down and try, give it a go.
Welcome to South Africa, your own best man playground!
We can't wait for you to experience what we love most about our country. Go to southafrica.net to book your dream holiday today. Allow us to indulge you. South Africa, inspiring new ways.
Solar Tech, the power to protect.
Yes! Solartech, your tried and trusted brand, is your total solution to all power problems, whether low voltage, high voltage, power surges, spikes, brownouts, or what have you. Solartech fully protects your valuable equipment. No matter your appliance, we have the perfect Solartech for you. Choose from my tried and trusted range, such as Fridge Guard, TV Guard, High Volt Guard, Multi Guard, AVS 13, AVS 30, AC Guard, Solartech TV Stab, Solartech Fridge Stab, UPS, and Solartech Voltage Stabilizer. Beware of counterfeit Solartech products. Get your genuine Solartech products today at our Abelemkpe office and all our authorized dealers across the country. Contact us at number 10 Yiwa Street, Ablinkpe, or call 0302-761450 or 0302-775106.
Solatech, the power to protect.
Hey, nowadays there's also new things, so I know they wreck yourself.
This small shadow way they talk. See, I kind of hot.
Sir, why they enjoy some cocoa drink like that? Hey.
Why, you don't know Chocolim?
Chocolim that? Where? It change, oh. I know Recam cry.
I know. Chocolim get this hot new look, and it be the same great taste.
Madam, you're gonna hot why? Mambako. Yeah, kind of hot. Chocolim now comes in a hot new look, same great taste. Also comes in a 20-gram sachet. Chocolim. Enjoy the taste, feel the goodness.
This advertisement has been approved and vetted by the FDA.
Let's go,
My name is Kwame Sefakai, and most of you know me as a media personality, but I am also a family man. The UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, saves me so much time by letting me do almost all of my banking transactions on my phone. The cardless withdrawal feature allows me to withdraw cash from any UMB ATM without an ATM card. I can also pay bills, transfer money, request for a loan, invest money, and so much more. So now, I can spend less time at the bank and more time with the ones I love. Bank anywhere and anytime with a UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, and get the time to do what you love most. Download the UMB Speed App from your Android, iOS, or Windows phone today. Call 0302-633-988 for more information. UMB Speed App, Digibank, let's go!
Joy 99.7 FM. Coffee in your cup and Joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
9 minutes past 9 on the Super Morning Show. Enjoy 99.7 FM. I'm here with Samson Awingobit Asaki of the Importers and Exporters Association, Solomon Kote of the Industrial and Commercial Workers Union, and Francis Anom of the Spare Parts Dealers Association. Now, you work very hard for your money every day, and almost every day you need your money to work even harder for you. Every peso counts. So what if we told you that from Monday 18th June, First National Bank will reward you whenever you use your Visa, Debit, Gold or Platinum cards for transactions online and on point of sale devices? Yes, money does not grow on our tree. Money does grow on our tree, I should say. Too good to be true, huh? It's too good and it's very true. And it's possible with only one bank in Ghana, First National Bank Ghana. All you need to do is get your First National Bank Gold or Platinum Visa debit cards ready and start swiping from Monday 18th June and earn some cool cash rewards in your savings pocket. This is not a promotion, it's a First National Bank thing. First National Bank, how can we help you? Now, text messages on the Super Morning Show are brought to you by Afrodan. Your back must last you a lifetime. And Glyco Travel Insurance Policy. We cushion you for life. Now, Afrodan is offering you the most comfortable chair in the world. The Nightingale Extreme Comforts Chair with over 10 thoughtfully engineered features, especially customized for your health and comfort. Just go to Afrodan on the first floor of the Swansea Shopping Arcade and feel this chair. You will be amazed. I'm talking about the Nightingale Extreme Comfort Chair. It's 10 minutes past 9. Let's get back in the studio. Samson, I can only give you a minute to wrap up on your point. No, but basically your point was that some taxes were removed and some others were introduced. Yes. So it sort of cancels out each other and it's affecting the trader more.
Exactly. Okay. And so for now, we are not ready and interested in any tax coming to our area. But we'll give the alternative. Because when you are criticizing someone, you must give
an alternative. Okay, yes. We'll come back to
you. Remember?
No, I'll come back to you for those alternatives.
You'll come back to me.
That's another leg of the discussion. Okay. Yes. Mr. Solomon, Mr. Kote. So we also saw some, as workers, we also saw some general decreases in taxes in the system that were supposed to affect the things that we buy. Did we feel them as workers in our pockets?
Well, thank you. My due regards to your valued listeners. For us in labor, we thought when 2017, this budget was read and the minister christened it as a simple budget. We only advised that they should walk the talk. From what we are seeing and the reflection coming to us, it's becoming as a mini budget. Because the issue is that they've made an attempt to say, let's reduce the base rate. But as I speak to you now, Brother Dazi, go to the bank, take a loan, the interest rate have not gone down, the charges have not gone down, and we workers, we survive by these loans. Now, we also become the very incidents on which every tax rests. All the indirect taxes we are paying as workers is affecting our meager incomes. We can say in West Africa, Ghana is one country that our salaries are among the least. And as I sit on this program this morning, it is very evident that they want to touch the personal income tax again. That is also not going to help us. And then the various levies that are coming, like the national health, that they want to come and hit the Ghanaian worker again. We think the government is virtually failing us because we are not getting the right value of our income. Our incomes are really not taking us home. And what we thought was going to be a relief, because all the things that was listed there about the 15 taxes that was going to see a review, it is not reflecting on us. It is because wherever you find IMF, it is chaos that you find in that country. And if from what we are hearing, preparing for Thursday, obviously there are going to be some increases. Well, if it so happens that it's still the dictates of the IMF, because they have come in and they are saying that this is the way you should go as a government. Our joy to say that IMF will be leaving us in December this year. It is not to say all, because if they leave, whatever support they brought, they are taking it away. So we as workers, we cannot really feel the change that was so much, tutored to us in the budget that was initially read. Going beyond from that, if they've lost control on their banks, you notice recently they are demanding that the very minimum capital adequacy for all commercial banks should also go to about 400 million Ghana cedis.
The minimum capital requirement.
Yes. Some bank, most of them are not able, to meet it. Pleading for extension has even become a problem.
Right. Okay, you finish up on this point of the banks that you're making. You're on the points there.
Yes, we are saying that these things are not helping the banks to actually look at us to facilitate that.
So that is why they are not able to give you loans.
Yes, and these are also affecting us.
Okay. Francois, is it not the case that some of these taxes, in fact, were removed, but you did not pass them on to the customers?
Yeah, that's what I was telling you, and I gave you an example.
No, but isn't that your choice as a businessman rather than the fault of the system?
You said I'm not getting.
Yeah, I'm saying that the taxes were removed. You didn't pass them on to the customers. Yeah. Isn't that your fault as your choice as a businessman to not pass on the relief to the customers?
You can say it is your fault, but you look at what is in the market.
Okay.
You study. You have competitors. Arabosoka, you have 1,001 competitors selling the same item as you are doing. So if you want to increase your price and then somebody says, I want to remain where I am,
couldn't the prices have gone even lower, even looking at some of the taxes that were removed?
You see, when they introduced the tax, we were waiting for, when you say today you've reduced tax, know that maybe I have to send my boy to Korea next week. He will go there and come back. So it's not going to have an immediate effect on the prices at the market on the day of announcing that there has been a reduction in tax or something. So it will take you about 3-4 months for you to, bring in another import. Before you come, the dollar has eaten your profit.
Okay, so it came down to the exchange rates. Let's hear then Vice Presidential candidate Mahmoud Bawumia, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, speaking on this platform on the Super Morning Show, and what he thought then about taxes, and then when we come back, the discussion continues.
The tax issue is a major issue, because if you are so fixated on revenue, you will essentially end up hurting your production, and if you don't take care, you'll be chasing the tax revenue and killing businesses. And when you kill businesses, it means you are causing unemployment. We need to mobilize financial resources. So why are you going to be imposing VAT on financial services? It doesn't make sense in a country which has got a very large unbanked population, and we want people to bank. We will abolish that. Let the businesses produce. Let them make profit. And when they make profit and employ people, we will get income taxes and we will get corporate taxes. So you don't go ahead to kill the business. And this is why we are going to bring down corporate taxes. We'll put incentives for real estate tax incentives for the real estate sector, the special import levy on imports, the 1 to 2%, we will abolish it.
And that's Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, then Vice Presidential candidate, speaking on the Super Morning Show in March 2016. So here we are now. We are staring at a possible increase of taxes in the face. Samson, tell me, what is the net effect of this on you, on the work that you do? How is this, if there's an increment in tax, how is it going to affect you?
Well, quite clearly, I'm sure if you play this voice to His Excellency the Vice President today, he will tell you he's not the one.
But they did remove a number of the taxes.
No, look, you just announced implementation.
They did.
Look, announcement is different from implementation. Go and ask corporate institutions that reducing the corporate tax from 25 to 20%. Has it been done? Go and ask the raw materials importers removing that tax. Has it been done? Don't just see that and say it was.
So you are a raw material importer. Are you?
I am not. I'm telling you. I am the executive secretary of import. So the complaints that come to me is what I'm telling you.
They pay the tax.
My brother, I'm telling you. You can go out there and ask. You have reporters, and I know Joy FM always do it.
But you speak for them. I'm asking for you. They pay the tax.
I'm just responding to you. The issues I'm saying that I'm just mentioning, enumerating things that was announced and things that has not been implemented. I've just told you a classic example. Of course, I've just told a classic example of spare parts. You see, it has abolished. You get to the implementation, then you say, let's sit and know which is spare parts. That is the betrayal to a higher degree. So I'm saying that, yes, the Vice President from 2016,
that's how they were covered under the common external tariff. They had to be taxed, and so they had to remove those from the class.
CET,
yes.
What is the current tax that we've been talking about? Tax stamp, eh?
Yes,
I've seen you give me what about? I didn't see it. Tax stamp and whatever. Look, the kind of interaction that it has introduced, this government has introduced to the business community, which the Vice President, by then the Vice Presidential candidate said that when you overtax business people, you collapse them, but you give them the window to expand, employ, then they get in tax. That is not what is happening. Can they give me statistics since 2017 to date? How many people they've employed? Corporate institutions have employed. The graduates that they said they will give cushion, institutions that will engage young graduates coming out. Have that been done? So please, we are not dealing with politics. But where I'm speaking, someone will say maybe this is an opposition. No, we don't. During any government, we were very hard. We defend the business committee.
Go to the question now. What is the effect of this? If there was, let's say, an increment in VAT, let's say to 21%.
No.
How directly?
I am going to tell you. I am telling you, my brother, that we will tell them where they should go and look for that money. We will tell you because they need the money.
So let's talk about the effect.
We will the effect is that the final consumer will suffer. You sit in your eyes. I'm a consumer. He's a consumer. Solomon Kote is a consumer. He's talking about employees' pay, which is nothing to drive home about. So if increment come, majority of the chunk of money can always make it from business committee, and so the final consumer, your power to package will be very weakened, and will continue to be drinking.
So we should expect an increment in prices
elsewhere. Yeah, of course. If they bend and they push it onto business community, that's what we would expect. The return is high cost of
goods.
Of goods.
Hold on for me, Francis. Yeah. If you are sitting in Abosiokai today,
yes,
and there's an increment in VAT on, let's say, a carburetor for a car, so you pay more tax for it. You told me that competition drives the price down. Are you going to increase the price even though the guy sitting next to you is selling a carburetor at the same price?
Yeah, just as I was telling you that a product that I was making almost 20 Ghana cedis as profit. Mm-hmm. Now I'm making 5.3.
Okay, that's a very specific figure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that means if you increase the price or you increase VAT again, and my profit is eroded, arguably everybody will be interested to increase price.
Okay.
You see, because the government has pushed the business community in such a way that if you want to sustain your business, that means then definitely you have no option to increase the price to meet your expenditure, maybe your workers and all those
so
things.
So we should expect an increment in prices?
That is what I'm saying.
It's obvious.
It's obvious.
It's obvious.
So you're asking this question. Let me go to Mr. Kote. Mr. Kote, so next time you're going to buy a carburetor, you buy it at a higher price?
Well, it depends on how the market exchanges are going. That's why when you get there, you have to go from shop to shop and see who is selling at high price and who is selling at a low price.
Yes, but then your general reaction to these announcements that you have heard now, as a worker, where do you stand on this?
Well, we feel agitated. We feel frightened. We feel the kind of security we thought this government in its Christine Asempa budget was bringing to Ghanaians. They have actually not walked the talk, because in between, we've rather seen some more taxes that have been introduced, and they are in the indirect form. And all indirect taxes, those of us who are the final consumer, we bear the blunt of it. And it's not making the worker to have the kind of space and peace of mind. We are unable to save. And any economy where workers are unable to save, it tells you that things are stiff in the economy. We also don't want the government to think and say that because they gave that huge hope and have not been able to deliver. We are saying they have not been able to deliver. One may say 18 months down the line is too short for us to see. Whatever foundations they have laid, we are expecting that maybe in the coming 6 months, we should be able to see the fruits of it. But from where we sit with employers to negotiate, the cry of the employers have not changed. They are still saying no money syndrome. We've seen brilliant presentations of government indicating that we managed to bring inflation down, we managed to bring the GDP, we managed to bring that. All those economic indicators are fine on paper, but they are not reflecting on the day-to-day bread and butter issues.
Maybe it should be given time.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, that if within the first 18 months, it is a foundation period. But in a foundation period, you are still bringing in new levies. You are still bringing in new taxes. Okay, and who suffers at the blunt of all these things? We were told if we reduce the electricity, and then it ended there. Now, we look at the component of the reduction in the electricity. You notice that it isn't as was announced to us. Anybody who goes back to check, have I had a reduction of 30% or 25% as was announced? You are not getting those figures as it was announced. Okay, so basically we think government in reasserting itself, they should go back so that they will be true and loyal to Ghanaians and check whether what they were intending to do, if they have frustration in delivering those things, they should come back and tell us that, yes, we thought, but we have not been able to deliver. Because employers are not recruiting. Okay, what we are seeing, they are all taking the cheaper course by recruiting casual workers. You know, their suffrage and their pain is also multiplying. Where is the voice for all these people? And we think a government who came at the back of the ruling government and said the taxes were too many and that our pays were nothing to write home about. And the clip that we just heard from the vice president is also not in the work as of now. So we believe this your program, if they are listening or they have a way to monitor, they should go back and check whether what the kind of integrity they want to wear by saying that what we say we are going to do, how we say we'll do it, when we are saying we're going to get it done, they've actually worked it. And
you believe government is not working with integrity?
Well, if you listen to some of them now, they are saying that as a government we need more taxes. But you came in and said that look, the taxes are too many.
Fund development.
Yes, you said there are too many, so we must get some out. And getting them out, we are saying where we are.
Okay, let me come to something. You've been hankering to give these alternatives.
We will.
Yes, because we need to fund development, don't we? So what are the alternatives?
My brother, you know there was a tax called windfall tax. Is it windfall to the mining companies?
Windfall.
Is it windfall? You know, it was kicked against it. It was kicked against it. It could not implement it. Could not see daylight during the previous government. They should go there and look for that tax. They want money. You know, there was tax abolition on real estate. How many Ghanaians can buy real estate? If you go to buy real estate, you might be rich. That tax that they give was bogus. You go to...
So you think they should reinstate the...
Yes, they should reinstate, yes. You go to aviation. How many people, how many Ghanaians take plane? How many Ghanaians? If I take plane to Kumasi, it's a luxury, it's not necessity. If I take a plane to Tamale, it's luxurious, it's not a necessity. But I should be able to take STC, so that fuel to transport people should reduce rather. I should be able to take Sprinter, cheaper, to Kumasi and come back. That's why ordinary Ghanaians travel. Ordinary Ghanaians doesn't sit in plane. Ordinary Ghanaians doesn't buy estate. They cannot even afford to even someone quote as an ICU boss. If you bought an estate, you tell how many years you take to pay that estate. And so if someone go to what do you call it? That East Legon back there where Transaco to buy an estate there, you give him that person, you abolish tax for him. That is
okay. Let's move to the next one. Let's move to the next one.
So and then of course, if government need more money, I think government should also put priority on export. Because you go to Exim Bank that was established driven in export and import businesses. You ask yourself from 2017 that the New Patriotic Party took government in this country, how many people, how many Ghanaians that this Exim Bank has given money to? But you come to port, all import is paying a percentage goes to Exim Bank. I'm sure you're aware of that. And the percentage of that money goes to Exim Bank should also go to Ghana Export Promotion Authority, so that they will use to develop our export sector, our non-traditional export sector.
But all now, this, we need money to do it.
Yes,
so take the money from somewhere.
So I'm saying, look, I've just told you that there's a percentage in import. Every import that the duties that they pay at the port, a percentage goes to these people. Those monies are sitting there. They should give it.
They are sitting where? Can you tell me where they are?
At Exim Bank. The bank was established. You know the initial amount that was.
And you can say on authority. Excuse me. You can say on authority that Exim Bank is not paying us these monies. Is that what you're saying?
I am telling you how serious as a country are we driving export.
Okay.
I'm saying that we have potential. Look at this. Look at the program my brother just brought. He should be able to go to export promotion. Ghana Export Promotion. If he should be able to hold his hand. They should be able to hold his hand. No, but I've not mentioned what product it is. I'm just telling you.
I'm just
they should be able to hold his hand. And of course, it's good if I mention the product name. It's good for Ghanaians. So they should be able to hold his hand and say, look, we'll take you to look for market for you. Look, I have one ambassador in this country, Colombia ambassador. How she can worry me for business? They want them to bring their goods into this country. So our ambassadors out there, what are they doing for Ghanaian business?
I want to let me just ask you.
Do more export.
Let me just ask you this quick one. We got 600 million from all those 16 taxes, about the 15 or 16 taxes, including the property tax that we are talking about. That we removed. VAT gives us 8.5 billion. VAT exceeded revenue. If you want real money, it's the VAT that brings that money. So yes, we can bring some of these taxes, but really, what kind of money are we going to get?
That's 7.5% on real estate and aviation. Isn't VAT? Isn't VAT?
But those were removed, and it is those taxes that are called the nuisance taxes. That's how.
And I just told you that
the general VAT.
I just told you it was contributing. So let's quantify. Let's quantify how much we are losing from real estate on that 70.5%. Let's quantify how much we are losing from the aviation.
We the minister all of them. Yes, that were getting the 600 million.
Yes, but it's still money. Even if it's the peso, it's money.
Is it enough?
And I'm saying that. How many Ghanaians? You guys open your lines. Just ask Ghanaians how many Ghanaians join plane.
Francis.
Let me come in here. I think there are certain things that as a country we are not getting it right. Let me say that in Togo, they have Freeport. Okay, when you come to our country, we are doing expansion. We are doing this. We are doing that. The Burkinabe driver of a truck goes to Togo, take goods from there, maybe pay like 2,000 or 1,000 Ghana cedis as Freeport, pay to the Togolese authorities. Come and pass through Ghana, destroy our road, and pay 2 cedi 50 pesos to our toll collectors, destroy our road, and goes to Burkina. The Togolese authorities over there have taken 2,000. And maybe from Togo, when they enter Ghana, from here to maybe Paga or wherever they are going before they enter to Burkina, they give you maybe 15 Ghana cedis.
Yeah.
Is that worth it? Why can't we expand the port? At a point in time, I think we're doing it. But for now, when they look at things, the way things are, they have all gone back to Togo and import from there. So we should do something. Let's try to target this free port system.
Okay.
And if you are able to, Burkina Faso and Benin and all those people are able to take 50 or 100 containers a day, because their container is not going to be open, it's just closed. They take it there, they pay to you. We can make money out of that.
Okay.
Come to Abosoka. You know what? I just, as my brother was saying, at certain stages, I'm not agreeing with certain arguments that he's making. As a country, I know I've stayed outside for some time. I know how taxes help country, but the person who is paying the tax must know what the tax is going to do. If you take a tax from me, and the next day I see my friend who was just sitting in a trotro becoming a DC, and then 3 months, 4 months time, the person is riding in V8, which is about 128,000 Ghana. That encouraged me as a businessman to pay tax. maybe you tell me, oh, free SHS, maybe this health insurance is going to collapse. So what can we do as a country? Maybe let's do this, let's do that.
But in the past 18 months, haven't you seen policies being implemented?
Oh, no.
Let
me tell you. If you talk about free SHS, if you talk about, let's say, planting for food and jobs, and you know, me, normally, I don't normally, I always like somebody who has an ambition, trying to make a step to go and achieve that ambition than doing nothing.
Okay.
So when the government mentions those policies and I see them taking steps towards that policy, it's a plus. And I know that, yes, that is why I'm saying that it's a plus. But at the end of the day, to achieve those things, the one who is going to pay the money must understand why he's paying the money. Like they are going to, if they are going to increase VAT, you come to Abosokan, you organize a meeting with them, tell them that, oh, this is the situation on the ground. The government cannot meet this, that, and that.
So if that is done, will be willing to pay the tax?
No, that's why I'm saying that. You explain to us, you consult us, just as before you consult ICU, consult importers and exporters, come to the local level. You can give even that system to your DCE and all those people to organize it on the ground. And at the end of the day, we move on as a country, because I can tell you that I think that they need to also expand the tax nets, as they were saying. Come to Abosoka, there are people selling on tabletops. If you give them 50 Ghana cedis a year to pay, I think everybody in Abosoka will be able to pay.
Right, Francois, I'm really out of time, really. I need to take Mr. Kote. So you believe that with proper consultation, do you agree with Francois that with proper consultation we will agree to pay this tax?
Well, he ended well by saying that the people who pay the tax, they must see the benefits they get out of the taxes they pay. But here we are, where we pay the taxes, we are not seeing any improvement within the community. Let's say, for example, we now know that no politician with any good conscience in this country will ever come and use fuel to tell us that we are coming to reduce fuel. This government said it when it was in opposition. It has lost control over it. Okay, and the blunt of it is the fight we hear in the trotro in the taxi anytime the fuel station begin to adjust the prices.
But it's been deregulated, right?
It's been deregulated. Let's go ahead. But if it's properly deregulated, why do we have government voices to say they are going to reduce it? The same way the PUIC have been deregulated, but government came out and say in budget in parliament, they said they are going to reduce it. Where is the long hand of government going to regulate those things again? And this is why we say integrity is at stake. If they are deregulated, allow the authorities that are put in place to do their own thing. And then again, we saw the president going to Lagos to go and announce the reduction when the PUIC, PROs have not done anything about it. We are saying as workers that things we want to see as salvation, as relief that we want to see in this economy, if they walk the talk on those 15 taxes that they said they were abolishing, and then the kind of relief they were going to give to employers. Now here we are, the Tesla companies are dying. They say they are bringing stimulus package. And the stimulus package that they are bringing, the condition attached to it, it is so free that maybe the Exim Bank is going to give you that loan. They will be asked to bring at least a collateral. And all these banks already are owing various banks. Are they going for that same collateral and then send it around? So they are still hanging there. They cannot recruit. They cannot even increase salaries the way they ought to do. And at the end of the day, it's the Ghanaian worker who is suffering. We look at the taxes again.
In 30 seconds, please.
In the way that we say, okay, we are going to reduce corporate taxes from 35 to 30, and then from 30 to 25, and then from 25 to 20. Let's ask ourselves, has that been implemented? If it has been implemented in at least 1 year, where we know most of our accounts are written from January to December, we haven't seen this reflection. And if it is there, then at least the worker should have leverage.
Your point.
So we are landing on the fact that the government in certain areas have done so well, but in the expectation of the Ghanaian worker, we are yet to see the real reliefs that they promised in the earlier budget to bring to us.
And that was Solomon Kote. He's General Secretary of the Industrial and Commercial Workers Union. You also heard Samson Awingobit Asaki. He is with the Importers and Exporters Association, and Francis Anom Francois, he is with the Spare Parts Dealers Association. It's 24 minutes to the top of the hour here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. We'd have to end this particular discussion here, but the conversation about taxes is far from over. We'll take these important messages, but when we come back, Ghana's sole participant at the 2018 World Choir Games, the Harmonious Chorale, has been crowned as world champion in Pretoria, South Africa. The choir won the newly created category C28 during the second award ceremony held on Friday at the Moreleta Park Church. This is an open repertoire at the championship level of the World Choir Games. In the first award ceremony held on July 7 in the Sun Arena, Harmonious Chorale Ghana picked up 3 gold diplomas, emerging as the overall winner in one of the categories from the open competition. After the sterling performance, the choir received a recommendation to participate in the category C28 of the championship competition. Now, the choir has emerged as the overall champion in the category, scoring a total of 90.75 points out of 100. Wow. And the victorious Harmonious Chorale will be joining us in this studio after this.
I am Dr. Acacia. Acacia gives